Hi, my name's Anna, and I've spent the last 17 weeks interning at On the Dot Marketing. I've always been responsible. Since the day I can remember, I've always cooked my own meals, did my own laundry, and completed my schoolwork on time. I rarely ever got into trouble or put into timeout. My mother never got a phone call from the school about my misbehavior, and I learned at a young age to apologize for when I was wrong. Over time, I've had to undertake the responsibilities of adults and adopt them as my own, which is probably one of the best things that's ever happened to me. The things life has thrown at me, along with a good set of important skills, has made me the smart, mature, independent, and hardworking person I am today. Now, just within the last 17 weeks of my high school career, I learned about a whole new side of what it means to be responsible, this being called professional responsibility. As an adult, not only are there bills to pay, food to prepare, laundry to fold, and errands to run, but there's a whole other part of your life that's dedicated to your work, your career, your income. There's a whole other world dedicated to appointments, preparation, guidelines, and instructions, a world strictly about business. And this was a part of life that I hadn't experienced yet. In a matter of a couple weeks, I was sending out newsletters, writing blogs, creating information charts, and handling professional companies' websites. I spent hours at a time trying to come up with new ways to get people to buy prom dresses, cars, eat at certain places, and I even had to work on ways to develop the advertising for the company I was interning at. While doing all this, I realized how much I enjoyed this work. The creativity involved is what really got me hooked, and the idea of meeting with people face to face on a constant basis is something I looked forward to, and I really wish I got to experience more during my internship. My boss Mike at On the Dot Marketing and I would meet at the Newton Public Library in the computer room. The environment obviously wasn't everything I had hoped for and imagined, but it made me excited for future internships. What was good about the library was that without the distractions of an office, Mike and I were able to really connect. He would take the time to explain things slow and show examples, and actually try to teach me what it meant to be a part of this marketing and advertising world. For instance, he taught me where and how to find specific information on the computer, which is something that I will use in my future education. This is also something I appreciated because the whole point of the capstone program is to offer experiential learning to senior students so that they can have the opportunity for hands-on learning. And I can truly say that's something I've taken away from the past 17 weeks. Anyway, having obligations and deadlines to make is what brought my whole internship together. I realized that unlike school, you can't just call in sick or make an excuse to tell your teacher if you didn't get the assignment done on time. Excuses rarely exist in the business world, and when they do, it's called getting fired. Understanding the concept of what it meant to be doing work that actually affected people's income is the greatest thing I learned at my internship. Not only that, but it's what opened the door to this idea of professional responsibility. One day, I was assigned to create a chart with a collection of various companies' names, numbers, website links, and emails. My boss Mike gave me 2 days to complete the project because even though it seems like really simple busy work, it really isn't. Just to come up with a list of a little more than 100 takes a few hours, and staring at a computer for that long feels like you're there forever. It's draining and not fun, but I dove in and got started right away. I got in the zone and I ended up completing a good amount of work and felt confident enough that I had done enough that I could leave and continue for the next day. So I began to pack up and leave the library. But as I went to go save my information to my email, an alert popped up on the screen that said, "This computer will erase all information that's on it within the next 20 seconds. So of course, me, because I'm not good with the computer, I didn't make it in time to my email and all the work got deleted. So the next day, I go back to the library with a better attitude to get all the work done. I ended up making all the work that got deleted and then some, so I was really proud of myself. But I also remembered to give myself enough time to make sure I could save my work. So to make sure I did it correctly, I thought it would be a good idea to ask the librarian to do it. So as I went to go get the librarian, and as he tried to come over to help me, he was unfortunately too old to make it to the computer in time, so the computer actually timed out before he got there and deleted all my work again. So I went back the next day, ready to just get it done. I somehow managed to get all the work done, and as I was finishing up some minor details, A weird box popped up in the chart on the screen. So I didn't know how to delete it, so I thought it'd be a good idea to go get a younger, different librarian to see if they could fix it. What did she do but delete it? All of it was gone. Again, the day was actually due. I couldn't believe it, and I was pissed. I jumped out of my seat, and I walked around the library to try to cool down. I wanted it to be over, and in that moment, I really felt like giving up. But I took a deep breath, and I went back in, and I got the work done, and I got it done right and on time. I don't know how I did it, but I did it because who am I to treat someone else's hard-earned business like it's nothing? This one experience is what taught me professional responsibility, and I couldn't have asked for a better way to spend my senior year, because instead of flunking out of all my classes, I was able to learn something of value, something that I will carry with me in the future. I'm glad I did it, and as I go into college with the intention of majoring in marketing and advertising, I feel prepared and ready to handle whatever responsibilities come my way. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Are there any questions? Basically, like something I would do on a normal day would be to go in and go on their Facebooks, their Twitters, their Instagrams, their Pinterests, and update all that information and post things and follow people, unfollow people. So what he does is he kind of does all the PR for these companies through social media and online, because that's kind of what we've evolved to now. Any other questions?
I have one. So I've known you for a few years, and I know you're creatively, like you're a great creative writer, and you're a very passionate writer, and you write kind of like from your heart. I wonder how your particular writing style translate or wouldn't translate into the kind of writing that you did, you know, for blog posts or, you know, like on Twitter accounts, because it seems like one is so kind of fluid and stream of conscious, and the other one seems to be so tight and compacted. So if you could talk about that experience a little bit.
Well, what I realized was that I've got a really, really good writing education from going to Newton schools my whole life. Mike would say constantly just my grammar, my punctuation, everything I would write in these blogs was always so on point and really good. And so that's something that's really helped. And like the difference was that going from trying to communicate with a teacher like you, and then comparing that to someone on the average who's just walking down the street and just has to read something and want to buy it, you have to write in a very different style. It can't be so detail-oriented. It has to be just, look at me, get my attention, stuff like that. So I had to tweak my writing that way, kind of almost dumb it down, make it simple, put it into like easier form, so short phrases and stuff like that, rather than writing essays and everything else. Any other questions?
I got one more question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So this is about advertising. You're going to go to Arizona next year for advertising and marketing. What have you learned about marketing or learned about the advertising industry just in your 17 weeks so far?
I've learned that something I really like to do, and I've learned that it's just the work that I want to do. It's creative. It's still a lot of work, which is what I want. I want to be busy. So that's kind of what I took away from my internship, was I just wanted to get a feel for what it would be like before I went into college, and actually wanted to get a major in the subject so I can make sure I really enjoyed it at least.
And you said that you didn't get a lot of face-to-face time with people in this type of industry. So I guess if I have a follow-up question, it would be, do you think that you're going to have those opportunities in the future, or do you think that on the dot marketing represents the future of advertising, and you think that advertising is probably going to have less face-to-face interaction?
No, I don't think that. I think obviously as we evolve, everything has to kind of be on social media, but you still need to meet with your clients face-to-face so you can get across what they want you to advertise and stuff like that. So no, I don't see that going anywhere, and I hope I get to do that more. Did you have a question?
I'm just trying to phrase it. I'm still kind of learning.
Go ahead.
So it sounds like how did you, sorry, I'm already.
No problem.
So you said
honestly. And having an internship where you actually want to learn and this will actually help my future, I think is really, really important, especially as a senior. I mean, you want your students to do something productive rather than just be in an environment where they're controlled and turning into a zombie, you know?
What was your takeaway? What one thing?
Yeah, the one thing would be that professional responsibility that I never really understood how that part of being an adult, obviously, how you kind of really have to separate majority of the time your personal life from your career, and you know whatever goes on at home you can't bring that into your workplace. It's a totally different world. You really have to focus. It's your income. So that was my big takeaway, was realizing that I can't just call in sick or something. This is for a company, a business, something someone developed, created on their own, spent hours. So yeah. Any other questions? Okay, well, thank you.